Hey everybody, it's George here from the Keeper's Hive, and we are at the Winterthur Apiary. It's the third week of March, and it's an exciting day because it's package installation day into the One Queen Keeper. We've already done a video on installing a nucleus hive. Today we're going to focus on how to put a package inside the Keeper's Hive. This is a package of bees. It's basically a box of bees that has 10,000 bees in it. It has a queen in a cage, and it also has a feeder. So what we're going to show you today is how to get the bees and the queen from inside the package into the Keeper's Hive. Okay, welcome back everybody. We're going to open up this package and get the package installed into the Keeper's Hive. So step number one is to remove the...
All right, George, so today we're installing a new package out at one of the hives. You said the first step for installing a new package is to what?
Is to get your frames ready, Dave.
Get your frames ready, okay.
So today we're going to put a coat of wax on all of our frames so that the bees draw them out better. So look at what we got here, Dave. We got a crock pot from Goodwill,
Nice.
$9.99.
Nice.
We got a 4-inch roller, basically to put the wax on, so you can get that at any hardware store. And we have examples of 3 different kinds of frames today, Dave. So this frame is a wooden frame with wax foundation. You don't have to roll this. This one you don't have to pre-wax because it's already waxed. So don't wax this one.
Okay.
Now we have an all plastic frame that we're going to put a coat of wax on so the bees draw it out. And then we have a wooden frame with wax with a plastic foundation that we're going to do it too.
Right. And that's just to use for the example, right? This medium?
Yeah, so this medium's not going to go into the Keeper's Hive today. This deep is, but just to show you the different kinds of frames, Dave.
Right,
so
okay.
Here we go. So we got some nice hot wax in there. Beeswax. Don't use beeswax, please.
And if you don't have any, you can buy it, right?
You can buy it or ask your neighborhood beekeeper
That's true.
for it. So all we're going to do is we're just going to roll this onto the frame just like that, Dave. You see? You got a coat of wax on there. And the same thing, we're just going to go on the other side. Just lightly just roll the wax out on the frame. So you got a nice coat of it. So it's nothing too fancy.
And those little chunkies, will they get
They'll clean it out.
They'll clean it out, right?
Yeah. So you just kind of get some wax on the coat on the surface of this frame just like this. If you're already buying frames that are pre-waxed, you may get away without doing this, Dave, but it never hurts to have a little bit of extra wax on your frames when you start a new package or a new hive, because it's just going to make it easier for the bees. So
I see.
There you go, Dave. So you just coat of wax, and we'll be going off to Winterthur to put a new hive in a moment. So come along and join us.
Sweet. Thanks, George.
See you, Dave. Remove this piece of plywood that's on top of it, and you're going to see there's a feeder jar, and there's also this black tape which holds the cage that the queen's in. So step one is basically to now the hardest part in installing a package is getting the feeder jar out of the package. So let me show you how I try to do it. I'll sort of bend it in on get it underneath it on one side, and you've got to keep hold of this black thing, because that's got at the end of the black thing is the queen cage. So you don't want this to fall into the package. So you're trying to hold this as you're removing the feeder jar. So we're gonna and you're just basically gonna pick this feeder jar straight up, and you're going to take this out, and then you're going to take, this is the queen. Now chances are the queen's in there because there's a lot of bees on it, and then we're going to take this little piece of wood and put it back over the package. So this is where the queen is in here, and let's take a look. So I'm going to show you this in a second. We're just going to take this and we're just going to shake a few of the bees off of this. And we're going to take a look. And we're going to take a look. And we're going to see if there's a queen. There's a queen in there. She's not marked, but we can see the a live queen right here. See her right there, Dave?
Yep.
So, and then if you look on the package, it's basically got two ends. There's a cork on one end, and there's a cork on the other end. And on one end, there's what we call queen candy. So what we want to do is we want to take a nail. Everyone should have a nail in their pocket. Luckily, I do.
Don't leave home without
Don't
your
leave
nail.
home without your nail when you're installing a package. And what you want to do is you want to sort of take that piece of cork out.
Right.
Okay. So not the piece of cork that doesn't have the candy. The cork that has the candy next to it is the cork you take out. And then you take the tip of the nail, right, and you gently put a hole, small hole, into the queen candy. You don't have to go all the way through, but you want to, get it started. So
what does that do?
It's going to help the bees eat the candy a little bit more easily and release the queen. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take the queen and put it into the brood chamber. So let me show you how we do that, Dave. We're going to open the keeper's hive. And we have no frames in the keeper's hive right now. So we're going to put 5 frames in because the amount of bees that's in that package is going to cover 3 or 4 frames. So we're going to put 5 in there. So what we're going to do,
And those are waxed.
these are the wax frames. So what we do here is we take this, the queen cage, and we're going to put it in between. We're going to get a piece of tape. I like tape.
Gorilla tape?
Gorilla tape. So we're going to get a piece of tape. And we're going to put the tape over the package here. And then we're going to put the package, we're going to put the queen in between 2 frames like this. With the opening, see where we remove the cork facing down. So what we don't want to do, and there's lots of ways to hang a queen cage between 2 frames, but what we don't want to do is we want to be sure that that queen cage does not fall to the bottom of the hive, because otherwise the queen's going to get chilled and die down there. So that's frames 3 and 4. I mean 2 and 3, and then we're going to get 2 more frames, Dave.
I'm sorry, I could have handed them to you.
That's okay. So we're going to have 5 frames in the brood chamber.
We'll use our follower board.
And then we're going to take the follower board and move the follower board over. And we're going to put the frame protectors in. The observation window goes in. The insulation on top of that. And we're going to come back over here and we're going to open the top of the keeper's hive. And you're going to take a look. Well, there's the queen cage sitting right between frames 2 and 3. So now what we do, Dave, is we're going to take the 10,000 bees that are in the package, and we're going to basically gently shake them through the hole.
They're really stuck together.
Yeah, they're a little, they're so we basically shake them in there, and then we could so you can see they've all ended up in the spacer box above the queen excluder. And what they're going to do is they're going to move down through the queen excluder next to the queen, and we can just leave this package right out at the front of the hive. So the rest of the bees in the package will eventually go into the hive. One more thing we have to do to finish our package installation is put in our mason jar feeders. This is just 1-to-1 with a little pollen sub in it to give it a little protein. And it's got a tiny, made some holes with a nail up top. Just turn it over until it stops draining. And then we're going to put it in right on top of the queen excluder. You don't want to put it right over where you put the queen, because just in case they leak out, you don't want to drown the queen in sugar syrup. So the queens I generally put up front here. So I'll put one mason jar in the middle, and then we got one more, and we'll put that one towards the end. It's still pretty chilly out, so I like using slightly smaller jars and filling them frequently, because they'll take that in a few hours, and then tomorrow I'll fill them up again. So we'll just sort of put this back together.